Ladies, please join me in welcoming Mrs. Miriam Swerdlove, our chair lady of today's program.
Okay, welcome everybody. And let us together make a l'chaim, because we have now brought 770 into our home. For 65 years, the Rebbe, I'm not sure exactly if it was when we were in Manhattan also, but for sure for 55 years, the Rebbe addressed us in 770 today. So now, for what reasons that are not in our hands, we are in our house, which means that 770 is now in your house. So l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akel niyeh b'dvarim. L'chaim, that we have brought 770 into our home. And I want to tell you something else, which I find, thanks to Saratova best. She's the one that brought it to my attention, that this week, President Trump said that we can open synagogues. Now, maybe it would have been appropriate if he said it out of Shavuos, Matan Torah. But the same way as then, it's first case, same out of Leveis Yaakov, first for the women. And so we're not in 770, but he announced that he's opening the shuls just before the Nshei Chabad convention. I am very, very moved by that. And thank you, Saratova, for bringing out that concept. Okay, so on the word l'chaim, just a few seconds. You've heard it so many times, but I think it needs to be said. The word life, the English word for life, has an if in the middle of it. And now we're living through such a hard time. If I would do this, if I would do this, if I could do this, if. L'chaim has a yud in the middle. That's Hashem's name. So drink l'chaim, because the Eibishter is in charge. The Eibishter führt die Welt. And the Rebbe is taking care of us. So l'chaim to all of the Rebbe's children. And as I said so many times when I was chairman in 770, I used to say, you may not see the Rebbe, but the Rebbe sees you. So now, not only sees us in 770, sees us in the 770 that we made in our own homes. So the Rebbe is with us right now in our homes. And since this Zoom has been given to us from Beis Rivka, so I'm going to say one of the theme songs of Beis Rivka. L'chaim Rebbe, l'chaim v'livrocho. L'chaim Rebbe, because you are now in our homes. L'chaim Nshei Chabad. Today's program is being in honor of, let me find my notes. In honor of, this session is dedicated to the Rav, Horav Reb Arnyankev Shvei. Before I ask Rebbetzin Shvei to start Kuf Yotes, I want to say a few small things. First of all, the name of the problem we're going through now is COVID-19, which stands for Coronavirus Disease 2019, because that's when it started. To me, COVID-19 stands for Kuf Yotes, the COVID of Yotes of 19. I happen to thank Hashem every day, because now we don't run anywhere and I have time to sit and say kuf yotes like a mensch. I never thought we would get to it. I never thought we would keep saying kuf yotes. I was sure Mashiach would come before. So he's coming maybe in the middle, not maybe, for sure now on kuf yotes. Rabbi Nshei. Rabbi Nshei, I wrote, when I took my notes, what I want to say, was a silent giant. He was a silent giant. Just want to tell you one small story about him, that I was involved. I run a camp in Eretz Yisrael, and one summer I had a lot of problems, doesn't matter, and they were convoluted and they were detailed and they were so tzimish that my head was spinning. My family, Baruch Hashem, helps me with everything. And I was discussing this with my brother, Harav Butman, Shmuel Butman, and he said, you've got to go to a Rav. I said, who should I go to? He said, go to Rav Nshei. I said, Mula, this is convoluted. This is so tzimish. This has so many and not nice things in it, and I'm embarrassed. And is he going to understand it? And my brother said, oh, will he understand it? He's a pikach. He will understand it. And I went to Rabbi Nshei, and I was so, at first, scared and embarrassed. And I sat down. I wish I could tell you how he listened. I don't know how to even say that in English. He listened loud. You could tell that he was listening to every word I said. He asked incredible questions, insightful questions, very, very, very patiently. He thought, and then he answered. I knew that I was in the presence of a giant, a quiet giant, a durchgetrachten giant, but a giant of a man. We lost the giant, but Amir Tzadsham Mashiach is coming, and we will have everybody back. It gives me the honor to ask his Rebbetzin Rachel Shvei, to please start the Rebbe's kapitel. And if you would all rise wherever you are. And we're going to do this. Rebbetzin Shvei is going to start the kapitel, and then we will say the rest. She's going to do Aleph, I think, right? I think so.
Okay.
Please rise.
אשרי סמימי דרך ההולכים בסרס אדוני. אשרי נוצרי עדוסו בכל לב ידרשו. אף לא פעלו עוולה בדרכיו הלכו. אתה ציווית פיקודיך לשמור מאוד. אך עלי ייכונו דרכי לשמור חוקיך. אז לא אבוש והביטי על כל מצוותיך. אוהבך ביושר לבב ולומדי משפטי צדקך. את חוקיך אשמור, אל תעזבני עד מאוד. אוקיי. במה יזכה הארץ אורכו לשמור כדבריך. זה גימל. בכל ליבי דרשתך, בליבי צפנתי עם מעשיך למען לא יחטא. ברוך אתה אדוני למדני חוקיך, בשפתי סיפרתי כל משפטי צדקך, בדרך קדושיך ששתי בקהל כל הון. ופיקודיך עשיך והביט על חושיך, בחוקיך ישעשע לא ישכח את דבריך, גמול על עבדך יחיה ושמרה את דבריך, גל עיניי והביט נפלאות מתורתך, גר אנוכי בארץ, אל תסתר ממני מצלותיך, גר נפשי לצעבה עם משפטיך בכל עת, ואל תעצם זילים ארורים הסוגים ממצלותיך, גל מעלי חרפה ובבוז.
It's okay. Keep going.
גם עדותיך שעשועי אנשי עשותי, דווקא לעפר נפשי חייני כדבריך, דרכי סיפרתי ועשני למדני חוקיך, דרך פקודיך הבינני והצליחה בנפלותיך, דבר פניו שמתוגך, קיימני כדבריך. דרך שקר אשר ממני בשורת חכנני. דרך אמונה בחרתי משפטיך שיביתי. דבקתי בעצותיך, אדוני הערתי לשני. דרך מצוותיך אור תקיפה חבלי לי. בריני אדוני דרך חוקיך וצרנה עקש. אבינני בעזרת תורתך ושמרנה בכל לב. הדריכני בנתיב מצוותיך כי יבוא חפשתי. באתי בי אל עדותיך בעל אל בצר. עבר עיני מאוד שב בדרכיך חייני. הקם לעבדך עם ראשיך אשר לי ראשיך. עבר מחרפוסי אשר יגורתי כי משפטיך טובים. הנה תאבתי לפקודיך ותתקפך חייני. בגאוני חסדיך אדוני תשואפך כאמרתך. בנך אותי דבר כי בטחתי בדבריך. ואל תצא מפי דבר אמת עד מאוד כי למשפטיך ייחלתי. ושמרה תורתך תמיד לעולם ועד. וישמך ברחבה כי פקודיך דרשתי. ואדברה בעדותיך נגד מלכים ולא אבוש. וישתשה במצוותיך אשר אהבתי. וישח אפי אל מצוותיך אשר אהבתי. ועשיך בחוקיך. זכור דבר לעבדיך על אשר ינחלתני. לא ישנחמותי בעוני כי אמרתך חייתני. זה לי מליצוני עד מאוד מצורתך לא נטיתי. וזכרתי משפטיך מעולם אדוני ואשנחם. זרתך אחזתני וירושלים מועדי תורתך. ונראה שהיו לי חוקיך בבית מגוריי. זכרתי בלילה שמך אדוני ושמרת תורתך. זו יצא לי כי פקודיך מצאתי. אדוני אמרתי לשמור מדבריך. וליתי קונך בכל לב ונהני כמעשיך. השבתי דרכי ואשיב רגלי אל עדותיך. חשתי ולא התממתי לשמור מצוותיך. סבלי רשעים עבדוני, תורתך לא שכחתי. חצות לילה אקום ואודות לך, ואודות לך על משפטי צדקך. חבר אני לכל אשר יראוך, לא שמרי פקודיך. עבדך אדוני מלא הארץ, חוקיך למדני. טוי ועשית עם עבדיך, אדוני כדבריך. טוב טעם ודעת, למדני כי במצוותיך האמנתי. טרם עיני אני שוגג, ואתה אמרתך שמרתי. טוב אתה ומתי למדני חוקיך. נפלו עלי שקר ודין, אני בכל לב אצור פקודיך. תפס כחלי ובם, אני תורתך שישעתי. טוב לי כי עוניתי למען ילמד חוקיך. טוב לי תורת פיך למעפי זהב בחפץ. ידיך עשוני ויחונוני, אבינני ולמדה מצוותיך. יראיך יראוני וישמחו, כי באורך ייחלתי. ידעתי אדוני כי צדק משפטיך, ואמונה איני ניסני. יהי נא חסדיך לחמני, כי אמרתך לעבדיך. דיבוני רחמך ויחיה, כי תורתך שעשועי. דיבוש זה דין, כי שקר ימצאוני, אני אסיח בפקודיך. ישובו לי יראיך וידי עדותיך, יהי ליבי שמים בחוקיך למען לא אבוש. קלת לשועתך נפשי לדברך ייחלתי. קלו עיני לאמרתך לאמור מתי תרחמני. כי הייתי כנוד בקיצור וחוקיך לא דרשתי. כמה ימי עבדיך מתי תעשר ועושי משפט. קראו לי זידים שיחות אשר לא כתורתך. כל מצוותיך אמונה שקר הדפוני עזרוני. כמעט כינוני בארץ ואני לא עזבתי פקודיך. יחסך חייני ושמרת עדות פיך. ואילם אדוני דברך נישא בשמיים. ודור ודור אמונתך קונת הארץ השמות. למשפטיך עמדו היום כי הכל עבדיך. לולי תורתך שעשועי, אז עבדתי בעוני. לאילם לא אשכח פקודיך כי בם חייתני. וכל אני הושיעני כי פקודיך דרשתי. מי כי ברשעים לעבדני עדותיך אתבונן. וכל תיך לא ראיתי קץ, ורחוב מצוותיך מאוד. מה אהבתי תורתך כל היום משיחוסת. ובית תחכמני מצוותיך כי לא אילם הילים. וכל מלמדי הזכרתי כי עדותיך שיחה לי. הזכני מתבונן כי פקודיך נצרתי. מכל ערך כי ליתי רגלי למען לשמור דבריך. ומשפטיך לא שרתי כי אתה הורצני. מה אני למצוא לחיכיך משפטיך לבסתי. ופקודיך התבונן על כן שניתי כל אורך שקר. נר לרגלי דבריך באור לנסיבוסי. נשבעתי ואקיימה לשמור משפטי צדקך. נעניתי עד מאוד אדוני חייני כי דבריך. נדרתי רצנה אדוני משפטיך למדני. נפשי וחפי צומי וזורתך לא שכחתי. נתנו רשעים פח לי ומקודיך לא צאתי. נחלתי עדותיך מעולם כי ששון ליבי המה. נתיתי ליבי לעשות חוקיך.
אני לא יכולה
כגיני עשה דרך היחלתי. סורו ממני מרעים ועצרה מצוות אלוהים. שמחני כי אמרתך ויחיה ואל תלשני משירות. סעדני לבשיה בשעה בחוקיך תמיד. פליט הכל שבים בחוקיך כי שקר תרמיתם. שגי משבעת הכל כשי ארץ, לכן אהבתי עדותיך. שמר נפח לך מסור ומשפטיך יורשי. עשיתי משפט לצדק, ואל תניחני לעושקי. הרואיב עבדך לטועב, אל יעסקוני זידים. עיניי קלו לי שעשיך, אבל אם צדקך. עשה עם עבדך, כחסדך בחוקיך למדני. עבדך אני הבינני ויראת עדותיך. איש לעשות אדוני יתר ומתעורסיך. על כן אהבתי מצוותיך מזרע ומפרט. על כן כל בגדי כל ישרתי כל ערך שקר שנאתי. ועוד עדותיך על כן נאסרת נפשי. איש הדרך יאיר מבין שתיים. פי פעתי וישאפת לי בסודך יארתי. פני אלי וחנני כי משפט לא בשמך. ועמי האחים באמרתך ואל תסליט בכל אובן. ודני מראש קודם בשמרה בקודך. פניך האר דעתך ולמדני עסוקיך. ועל גיא מים יורדו עיני על לשון רסורתך. צדיק אתה אדוני ויעשה משפטיך. תביס הצדק את עדותיך ואמונה מאוד. תמתני כי נעשי כי שכחו דבריך צריים. צופיים רצתך מאוד ועבדך אהבה. שעיר אנוכי ונגלה פיקודיך לא שכחתי. צדקתך צדק לעולם ותורת אמת. צער ומצוק מצאוני מצוותיך ששועיים. צדק עדותיך לעולם הבינני ואחיה. קרצתי בכל לב ענני אדוני חוקיך וצבאות. ועשיך הושיעני ושמרה עדותיך. קידמתי לנפש והשבע לדבורך ייחלתי. קידמו עיניי השמורות לשיח בחוקים רציך. כל אישים וכחסדך אדוני כי משפטיך חייני. קרבו אותי זימה מתורתך לא רחקו. קרוב התורה אדוני בכל מצוותיך אמש. קדם ידעתי מעדותיך כי לעולם יסודתם. ראה אני בחצני כי תורתך לא שכחתי. ריב ריבי וגלני לאמרתך חייני. רחוק מרשעים ישוע כי חוקיך לא דרשו. רחמך רבים אדוני כי משפטיך חייני. רבים עודפי וצרי מעדותיך לא נסיסי. ראיתי בוגדים באסכותך אשר אמרתך לא שמעו. ראה כי פקודיך אהבתי אדוני כי חסדך חייני. רואי דברך אמס ולעולם כל משפט צדקך. צהרים רדפוני חינם ודברך פחד ליבי. ששון אוכי על אמרתך כמועצה שול על רב. שקר שנאתי ועשאי והתורתך אהבתי. שב היום היללתיך על משפטי צדקך. שלום רב לא אוהבי תורתך ואין להם מכשול. סיברתי לשבחך אדוני וצוותיך עשיתי. שמרו נפשי עדותיך אוהבי מאוד. שמרתי פיקודיך ועדותיך כי כל דרכי נגדך. תיגר ברינותי לפניך אדוני כי דברך הבינני. תבור תחינותי לפניך כי אמרתך הצילני. תבן אספסתי תהילה כי שמדני חוקיך. תען לשון אמרתך כי כל מצוותיך צדק. תהי ידך לעזרני כי פיקודיך בחרתי. תאהבתי לשבחך אדוני בשורתך ששועי. וכי נפשי ושאלך ומשפטיך יעזרוני. תאיתי כיסא אויביהם בקש עבדך כי מצוותיך לא שכחתי. יחי אדוננו מורנו ורבנו מלך המשיח לא ילם ועד. יחי אדוננו מורנו ורבנו מלך המשיח לא ילם ועד. יחי אדוננו מורנו ורבנו מלך המשיח לא ילם ועד.
Thank you, Rebbetzin Nshei. That was beautiful. You made me cry. Here we are, all in our homes, and 770 is with us, and we said Kuf Yotes. And I'm trying to learn Kuf Yotes now, and I learned that if you say it once a month, it's a Grace Maisa Kuf Yotes. And here I have on my list, it says there were 305 participants, 306 participants. And we all said, those of you that said part, thank you very much, Rebbetzin Nshei. I appreciate it. And you said it beautifully, without greisen. Most of us say it with greisen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like now to thank a few people. Beis Rivka School for the use of the Zoom. Goldie Yunik for the incredible help in coordinating the Zoom. Musi Heber, Sarah LeBlau, and Mika Sofer of COL that spread the word of the convention to the whole world. And now, I would like to invite Rabbi Majeski to do the Rebbe's Kapitel. But before I gonna invite Rabbi Majeski, I would like to tell you what this man has done. Rabbi Majeski runs Machon Liyadus. Every school in New York, every school all over the world has been closed. I have two granddaughters in Eretz Yisrael, in a seminary, doesn't matter which one. It was closed. Every seminary closed. One seminary, one, remained open because the girls have nowhere to go. Their homes aren't from. And Rabbi Shlomo Majeski said, we will keep Machon LeYahadus open. There were meals. There was learning every day. And I'll tell you something else. They even made a wedding for one of the girls from Machon LeYahadus. I talked to some of the girls and they said, this is home. This is our home. Machon LeYahadus is our home. And they kept it open. Do you realize what that means? That means meals and food and learning and warmth and togetherness and family. That's what it means. So I am so honored that a real chassid, somebody who's out there doing what he's supposed to and above what he's supposed to, Rabbi Shlomo Majeski. The Rebbe's letter.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So reading the Rebbe's letter from Tafshin Yutes. Baruch Hashem. Rishon, the Pashas Bamidbar, Hey Tafshin Yutes, Brooklyn, New York. Zu alle Chaveris von Agudas Nshei B'neis Chabad Iberau und zu sehr Vorsteher, die Mitglieder von der jährlichen Convention befragt, Hashem Aleihen Tichjena. Bracha v'sholem. In Zusammenhang mit der jährlichen Convention von Agudas Nshei B'neis Chabad und durch die Vermittlung von der Convention schicke ich mein Bracha zu jeder von euch überall und rick euch aus mein herzliche Begrüßung zu der Convention. A Begrüßung und Bracha zu Grace Hatzloche in der Arbeit von Nshei B'neis Chabad in alle ihre Abteilungen und Protim und als die Arbeit soll durchgeführt werden in guten Gesund und Stimmung, mit chassidischer Lebendigkeit und Freude. Und speziell soll es sein, als in der Arbeit von Convention, was da bestimmen und einwirken auf dem Arbeitsprogramm bei der Kummedige Convention, noch machen dem Zerhakel von der Gleichungen von der vergangenen Zeit. In dem lernen Teile in Schul und in wöchentlichen Lernen, einlernen und einleben sich in ihr, in der Heim und überall, heben wir jetzt dann das Seder und dem Sefer Bamidbar. Gleich am Anfang wird uns erzählt wegen dem Ansag von überzählenden Iden, kein Jirbu. Echt in der späteren Seders von dem Sefer wird erzählt wegen Zählungen von Iden damals. Und der Tere gibt dazu eine spezielle Wichtigkeit. Auf sehr viel, als der ganze Sefer Bamidbar wird angerufen Chumash Abkudim, der Chumash von den Zählungen. Was können wir lernen davon, wenn er geht zu unserer Arbeit, von verspreiten Idigkeit, durchgedrungen mit chassidischer Licht und Warmkeit? Einer von den Hauptgedanken in dem ist, bei Zählungen ist jeder von den Gezählten, wie groß und wichtig er soll nicht sein, ist er doch nicht mehr von eins. Und von der zweiten Seite, wie klein und gefallen der zweite soll nicht sein, ist er doch nicht weniger wie eins. Von den Hauptstellungen, von dem von der übergegebenen und warmen Ton für den zweiten, ist der Gedanke, was geht es mich an? Beim zweiten Gefallenkeit, was kann man schon da öftern? Reintrachten sich aber in dem eben Gesagten, als allein für sich ist man nicht mehr wie eins. Und zu bekommen dem Keich und Schivus von mehreren, muss man sich verbinden mit Nachiden. Reintrachten sich, als wie der Zweite ist eins mit ihm zugleich, kann doch sehr und sehr möglich sein, als mit der gehörige Hilfe soll sich ausgleichen mit ihm in alle Hinsichten. Sieht man die Nicht-Richtigkeit von den gesagten Stellungen, man sieht die Größe der Gleichungen für sich und für den Zweiten, zu welchem man kann zukommen, und man warft sich herein in der Arbeit mit beneiter Lebendigkeit und Energie. Der Rebische soll benchen eier Arbeit, soll sein mit Hatzlochen in alle Hinsichten, zusammen mit seinem Bruch und Hatzlochen zu jeder von euch, mit der Bnei Bayis Sheichyu, in die Prozessdicke Unionen, und Goren Gichen, soll man sicher sein mit all ihnen zusammen, sind die Erfüllung von der göttlichen Nevuah. In dem Ort, das heißt Eretz Yisrael, was es ist der Chorov, wenn wir vorbeigehen des Schof, das heißt die Jiden, vorbei dem, was wir sie zählen, und das ist Mashiach, sagt Gott. Der Birchas Hatzlocha und Psuris Tevis und Chsimis Yad Kotsche von Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. I'm going to read now the translation of the letter in English, a free translation. By the grace of God, first day in the portion Bamidbar, 5719, Brooklyn, New York. To all members of Agudas Nshei B'nai Chabad everywhere, and to their representatives, the participants in the annual convention in particular, God bless you all, blessings and greetings. In connection with and through the annual convention of Agudas Nshei B'nai Chabad, I send my blessing to each one of you everywhere and express my heartiest salutations to the convention. A greeting and blessing for great success in the work of Nshei B'nai Chabad in all its branches and projects. May the work be accomplished in good health and spirits, with Hasidic vitality and joy. May it be especially so in the work of the convention, which after taking stock of past accomplishments, must devise and organize a program of action till the next convention. In the Torah portion, read in the synagogue, studied during the week, scrutinized and applied at home and everywhere else, we begin this week the first portion of the book Bamidbar, Numbers. At its very beginning, we are told of the command to count the Jews, may they multiply. In further portions of this book, we are again told about other tallies of the Jews. The Torah attaches to this a special importance, so much so that this whole book of the Bible is called the Book of Countings. What can we learn from this in connection with our work of spreading Judaism permeated with Hasidic light and warmth? One of the most important thoughts is this. In a sense, every person that is counted, no matter how great and important, is no more than one. On the other hand, no matter how small and how humble another may be, in the senses, he cannot be counted for less than one. One of the greatest obstacles in the devoted and warm actions on behalf of someone else is the thought, what business is it of mine? Why should I care? Or when a person is confronted with another's shortcomings, the thought of, what can I accomplish? But if we consider the above mentioned, each one by himself is only one. In order to benefit by the strength and importance of more, he must unite with other Jews. After reflecting that the next person is one, just like myself, one realizes that it is very possible that with the proper help, he can become my equal in every respect. We can then understand the fallacy, the aforementioned thinking. We see the great accomplishments for oneself and for another that we can attain. And we therefore throw ourselves into our work with renewed vigor and energy. May the Almighty bless your work. May it be successful in every aspect, together with the blessing and success to each one of you, together with the members of your family in your private life. And very soon, maybe we be worthy together with all Jews to see the fulfillment of the holy prophecy. In this place, referring to the land of Israel, which is now destroyed, the sheep, which refers to the Jewish people, will pass before the one who will count them, which is Mashiach, says the Lord. With the blessing of success and good tidings, the Chsimis Yad Kotshe, with the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. To say a few words, I was asked to say a few words regarding the Aveda of our times today. We're standing in the days of preparation to Matan Torah. In the Torah, there are 613 mitzvahs and infinite details, extensions, and branches, one different than the other. But there's one point, one thread that's central and applies to everything in Torah mitzvahs, and that is that Torah mitzvahs, no matter how amazing it has to be in the right place and the right time. A person could observe the greatest mitzvah, but if it's in the wrong time, it's unacceptable. Eating matzah is an amazing mitzvah. So much has been written in Gemara and Midrashim and Chassidus, Kabbalah, how amazing this mitzvah is. But a person would chas v'shalom eat this matzah on the night of Yom Kippur, that's a transgression. And the opposite is also true, that fasting is a tremendous mitzvah. And so much has been said about Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, the day that we fast. But if somebody would choose to chas v'shalom fast on the night of Pesach when they're supposed to be eating matzah, that is a transgression. So a Yid who observes Torah mitzvahs is very aware of the time. Always aware, is it Shabbos today? Is it a Yontif? Is it Pesach? Is it Shavuos? Is it Chanukah? Is it Purim? If it's a weekday, is it the days of Sfira? Is it the 3 weeks? Because the right thing is only right if it's done in the right time. The Rebbe teaches us that this principle also applies on a much greater scale. And that is that every generation is a new era in time, a new tkufa. And every generation has its avodah that should be the focus of that time. Hashem himself designates each generation to focus on a different avodah. But the Eibishter reveals his plan, Gila Dvarav Adei Avodav HaNaviyim, through his servants, the prophets. And like it says in the Navi, that when a prophet speaks, when a tzaddik speaks, Dvar Hashem Dibra Bi Umilose Al Sheni, is the words of Hashem that speak in me and through me, and it's his words on my tongue. So the Rebbe revealed to us at the beginning of our generation, the Der Hashvi, that our Aveda and our focus is to bring Mashiach Lepel Mamish, and therefore every Yid in the generation is charged with a mission to do everything they can to spread Torah, mitzvahs, spread the Mayonas Chutza, because Ka'asi Mardo Malka Mashiach, this brings Mashiach. And that's our mission. In Pashas Mishpatim Tavshin and Aleph, the Rebbe went a step ahead. And he said that Hashem has already appointed and anointed Mashiach. And now all that's missing is that the Am, the nation, should accept his kingdom, should accept his Malchus. And that will empower him and enable him to be revealed and come and take us out of Golus. And hundreds of times after that, and even before that, the Rebbe reiterated that all the Aveda that's necessary to bring Mashiach has already been completed. And now in our generation itself, the only thing that we have to focus on is to be Mekabel Mashiach, that we should do everything personally for ourselves and for all those around us to be Mekabel Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu, to receive and accept Mashiach. That means all the work we do now, the Torah and mitzvahs, all the mitzvahim, everything has to lead to strengthening that Yidden should be Mekabel Melech HaMashiach. And by doing that, this will enable him to come and take us out of Golus. And Beis Nissen Tavshin Ches, the Rebbe said that by the announcement, the declaration of Yechi HaMelech, that's how we declare that we accept Mashiach as our Melech. So as we stand now, Erev Chag HaShavuos, the Yom Hilul of David HaMelech, which is the beginning and the source of Malchus Beis David, of the kingdom of Mashiach. It's Erev Yom Hilul of the Baal Shem Tov, who was the Melech HaMashiach of his generation. It's actually the day that the Mezritcha Magid, who was the Mashiach of his generation, that his Malchus began, as it's known that the first year After the Baal Shem Tov's Histalkus, his son became the leader, Reb Tzvi. And a year later, on the day of Shavuos, he stood up and he said that my father came to me and told me that the Shechina and its entire entourage has been transferred to Reb Dave Ber. And at that moment, the Mezritcher Maggid took on the leadership. And in these days before Shavuos is the day that the Tzemach Tzedek, who is Mashiach in his generation, that his Malchus began. That Chassidim approached the Tzemach Tzedek after many months, refusing to accept the leadership. And the head of this group was a Chassid by the name of Reb Peretz Chaim. And he said something to the Tzemach Tzedek, which he accepted, and then he accepted the leadership. So there couldn't be a more appropriate time that we should strengthen ourselves and all those around us to be Mekabel the Malchus of Mashiach of our generation and all generations, the Malchus of the Rebbe. And by doing that, we're empowering and enabling the Rebbe to become Nizgala and take us out of Golus and do it now so that we will be able to celebrate Shavuos, the Simcha B'Pnimius, such Simcha that the world has never seen in its entire history, and such deep pnimius that the world has never seen in its entire history. Let this be taken from Miyad Mamish, Yechi Yadeinu, Mereinu, Rabbeinu, Melech HaMashiach, Leilam Vod.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Rabbi Majeski, for those wonderful deep words and also for what we need to do. This is what we need to do. The convention this year is Hakeim La'av V'choim Rosecho. That we should see the end. We should see what the Rebbe told us is coming. We're living through such a difficult time. But I think I personally enjoyed it. I don't have 9 children in a 3-room apartment. And Baruch Hashem, all our family is healthy. But I personally enjoyed the time that I had to maybe do a little introspection and maybe find out, who is Miriam Feiger Bas Yehudis? Who am I? And what am I good at? And what do I need to do? And what do I need to learn? And what is my tomorrow? We're going out now to a new, I forgot what it's called, a new reality, a new, not the one that the world thinks. Now it has to be, and I keep saying this part and I love it. We should eternalize what we understood so we should internalize so we could eternalize. We should internalize what we learned. I see from my children and grandchildren and daughters-in-law, from making sushi to learning, from drawing chalk on a sidewalk with the kids to making sure that they have their lessons, from taking the kids someplace fun to making sure that they know who they are and what we're doing during this time. I think you mothers are heroes. You, the women, the young women with children at home, are heroes. And you, the women that are home alone, are heroes. And those of us who don't have who to talk to, we're heroes. Those women that are alone, you're heroes. Those with children, you're heroes. We're all heroes. The women of today are heroes. You stepped up to the plate and you did what you had to. And most of you, the ones I know, did it with a smile and did it with happiness. One of my children even said to me, I loved this time. I loved it. Wow. Rebbe, look at your children. Rebbe, look at your children. And I will repeat, Hakeim la'av d'chaim rosecho. Please make it come true. I think we are now going to have a video, am I right? Someone tell me? If not, I will look. Yes?
Eliyah Das ist sicher, wie man hofft sich jeder Tag und alle Tage. Ein Punkt, als wie mit zählt die Zelt von Sphäre. Weil der Pastor ist doch ab der 7. Tag, wie viel Zeit ist schon durchgegangen von manchen Jerusalem von Pesach. Und ist geworden, nennt er zu Chaga, wo ist man Matten Jerusalem, als ich erzählen Iden mit ungeduldiger Heid, schon die Zeit und die Jahren und die Days, was mir gefindet sich in Golus, bis wann es am schreibt Ad Mosai, und mit besser bei dem Ebersten, das soll Teke von mir, da ist nämlich jeder Iden, und alle Iden, und Mischpoche bis Neatzma, als wird nicht Eile sein, in der Gula Hamitis war schlimmer, jede Mischpoche für sich, und jede Mischpoche zusammen mit allen übrigen Mischpochen. Dies waren mit ganz klar Israel, und man hat noch wie jeder Ide Witzer, und sagt, da sehen die Kieles, dass man sagt, dass ich in Ani Maimin Bedibur, als der Hakele bechol Jemschi Jove, also jeder Tag, ich hoffe, jeder Ried an demselben Tag wird noch kommen, Mashiach zu kennen. Wie man sagt, dass ich in der Zwiebel von Shmeinesse, in dem Meire, was man Tesch gedauert, und noch drüber, wie man das gesagt, in Tfilas Mincha Shalifnise. als es Zimmer David Abzuchon Meheros als mir, als der Rebischter macht aufwachsen und aufblühen, wie es Mashiach zu kennen an Leben von Mehero, wie bei dem Rebischten ist das Mehero, was wie bei jeder heilt sich mit Kirches Bosser Vadam. Der Rebischter heilt sich mit Gula Hamitis war schlimmer. Kommt es alles ganz schnell, bis wann es Tekef und mir hat Mamos und mir geht noch Tekef und dann zusammentreffen sich. Und Tekef von Winzen sich, jeder ist zu dem Zweiten und zu der alle Versammelte, wie Nissi der Rene, wie der Rebbe der schwere Ton gesagt, der Minek, als fast schwur ist. Bis als jeden treffen sich, ist auch damals winzig, jeder Ried zu allen übrigen, mit wem trifft sich. Und als sie echt Frauen zu den Frauen, mit welchen sie treffen sich. Oder Kinder mit Kindern sie treffen sich, also sein der Chaga Shavuos, Kabbalas Atera, Besimcho, Bepnimius, was gedeh soll sein, demut an Nemesis Simcho und an Nemesis Pnimius, darf man sich haben, die Ihnen als Simcho noch Tag Vaterruf, die Simcha soll sein, als Simcha Amitis, und man darf haben, welche dem Leben eingestellt in ein Leben von Pnimius. Und ihr seht, wird das sicher der Teva, bei jeder jüdischen Mann oder Frau, und bei Akeres Arbeit, bei jüdischen Frauen, bei Milcha der Teva, als werden alle Jahre, was sie viel bei sich in Huis, in ein Leben mit der Simcha und mit der Pnimius. Shabbos, na Pläne für Nshei, na Pläne für Yontif.
Lucky are we that were there. Lucky are we that saw it. Rebbe, we need you so badly. By the way, with tears and with happiness and with Teira and with Teichen, it's all one package, you know that, right? So we also have today a very fun convention. We're going to hear from an incredible singer, Meleha. I love her. She's from Paris or France somewhere. And we're going to see an incredible sand thing demonstration. We're not just giving you Ruchnius, we're also giving you, which is also Ruchnius. Aida Shagashmius is Ruchnius, and you're going to love it, I hope. So we'd like to bring on 3 people that will give us regards from where they are. The first one is Meital Shaibi, or Shaibi. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Meital Shaibi from Rehovot, Israel. Meital, at Nimset, are you there? Meital?
Hi, my name is Meital Shevi, and I've been in the Lubavitch community for 8 years. I would like to send from the Holy Land, Eretz HaKodesh of Israel, warm regards for Nshei Chabad for this wonderful convention. During the Second Lebanon War, I was an officer in the Israeli army. My job was to brief and chief of the general staff every day about the fight that took place the previous night. My position was essential and carried a lot of responsibility. The sight and sound of the battlefield made me ask questions about the meaning of life and about my Jewish identity. After my discharge, I worked as an aide to the head of a opposition party in the Knesset. During my work at Knesset, I saw many ministers. I saw the confusion and the indecisiveness and looked for a real leader. I watched videos of the Rebbe in which he told the ministers of the Israeli government, pleasantly but assertively, what they should do. The Rebbe made a huge impression on me, and for once I saw what a real leader is like. That's when I began studying the correct way to observe the Shabbat. The thing that pulled me most toward the Rebbe was his strong and unwavering stand to Jewish truth, based on the everlasting Torah. I was extremely impressed by the global operation of the Shluchim that the Rebbe established. At this point, I felt that I needed guidance in becoming the Rebbe follower. I came to spend my first Shabbat at Or Chaya in Jerusalem. I came to celebrate Rivka Sasson Shabbat Kala. I wanted to see what it was like to spend Shabbat in Jerusalem. What I discovered was a unique brotherhood and unity among the girls. Or Chaya is known for its warmth and acceptance for Israel without judgment. I enrolled myself to Or Chaya, where I stayed for 2.5 years, studying the Hasidic way and especially the Gunim of Chabad. Living and studying at Or Chaya was very meaningful to me and affected the way I lived the rest of my life. I was fascinated by the harmony among the girls. At that time, there was a girl at Or Chaya, Sarah. She was considered a Yurot for years. She had no documents proving she was a Jewish. Her visa expired, and it all got complicated with the Israeli authorities. The Rabbanim sent her abroad to retrieve their documents. But then, she wasn't able to return to Israel. Her Chatan was here, and she remained over there. I was able to help that girl through my connection at the Knesset. And shortly after, she was permitted to return to Israel and married her Chatan the following day. At that time, one of the Rabbanim at Or Chaya blessed me that I would get to meet my Chatan. because of my effort to help a Jewish couple build a home. And that's exactly what happened. After 2.5 years, with the help of Daniela Golan and Yoela Colton, I got married to Yuval, a Hasidic Rebbe follower who lived in the United States and returned to Israel. Undoubtedly, the tools I received at Or Chaya helped me build a warm Jewish home based on halacha and Hasidic ways. But the main thing is that after years of being an officer in the army, I finally learned how to treat my surrounding with joy and acceptance. We live in Chabad with our 3 wonderful children who are educated according to Hasidic way of life. We feel extremely lucky and very happy with the life that we choose. My husband is an entrepreneur and I work for Rabbi Gluchowski, managing the Igrot Kodesh operation, and Or Bayit, Center for Families and Couples Therapy. Or Bayit also give service to shluchim all over the world. I appreciate my job that also allowed me to spend enough time with my family, something that I always dreamed to have. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to stand here and tell you a little about my life as the Rebbe follower.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We would not, I'm sorry, I didn't hear very well, so I can't say what you said. Forgive me, Ziskai. Forgive me, Meital. We are now going to hear from France, Mrs. Chaya Nisalevich. Mrs. Chaya Nisalevich from France. Please make it louder because we can't hear. I couldn't hear.
Shalom uvracha, bracha v'shalom. You hear me?
Yes.
Is Baruch Hashem. Ich hab allemal gecholem gehen auf a convention. Und keinmal ich hatte Schuss, weil es die Zeit von School. Und keinmal ich gekannt ablassen die Schliches, haben die Schuss. Wie viele Jahren hab ich geredet mit Sterne Spritze und ja und nicht. Und dem Jahr hat mir nicht gedacht, Kischeiles. Wird mir gesagt, als wir können sein auf dem Convention, habe ich nicht gefragt, 2 Mal. Und mir hat das Schuss, haben meine Mama auf dem Convention. Und ich meine, als die beste Sache, mit anheben mit die Braches von meiner Mama, weil soll die Convention bringen, der Tachlis von Convention, Mashiach now, heint ist die Feres über Malchus, die Feres, das ist Teire, Malchus ist der Melech HaMashiach, mir lernt, mir redt, wegen Yechi, Adoneinu, Moreinu, Rabbeinu, Melech HaMashiach, Leil und Bret, mir lernt die Teire von Mashiach, mir bringt aus die Pnimis von Mashiach, jeder Weib ist der Malchus, mir weiß, dass die Weiber, das sind Malchus, die Weiber sind die Kehanim, Gdelim ist ihr Stub, und als wie mir hat gesagt früher, wir seien in 770, und da in Frankreich, Zorfas, das Bepel Mame, die Gematria von 770, ist der Poratsto, alle heißt der Rebbe zugegräht, dass sie mich das mehat. Ist der, dass der Migdash, dass sie das School, dass sie der Schul, dass sie die Kirche, die Korbones, die Misbeach und die große Convention, Baruch Hashem, alle zusammen von der ganzen Welt. Ist der, kann man nur warten auf Moschiach im Beis Hamikdash. Wir sind schon Fokus. Der Zoom wird bringen die Anane Schmeier und wir können schon alles vorstellen. Ist Baruch Hashem, wir haben die Mama, was wird anheben mit Birkas Kehanim.
Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Amen.
Yoir Adonai pona v'elecha v'yichonecha.
Amen.
Isu Adonai pona v'elecha v'yosem lechof kalim.
Amen.
Somuf m'abnei Yisrael v'ani avorachem Als alle zijn gebencht van de meesten. Gleich jetzt.
Amen, Amen. Was kann man haben besser wie die Birkas Kehanim und die Brache von die Achdus, die bringt Ruhe, die Pnimis von jeder Reine, durch die Simche, kann man sagen, dass wir seinen Grey zu Moschiach now, the Pale Mamesh, wir hat alle Ingredients, mit die Rezepte da, die Simche, die Menucha, also wie man sagt, man darf nicht laufen, man darf nicht suchen, wo zu packen, wo zu schlafen, jeder eine bei sich, lebt Moschiach, also wie der Rebbe gesagt, die letzte Sicher von Schwues, Moschiach, das ist Menuchas HaNefesh, Menuchas HaGuf, mir hat nur eine Sache zu tun, leben Moschiach, mir esst das Moschiach, mir lernen der Teres Moschiach, wir sind zusammen mit Moschiach, kämen schon beten, der Rebeste soll da sein, in dritten Betamidisch, now, nicht talking beste Zeit wie Hein, Resh Chedesh, der Rebbe bewiesen als Resh Chedesh, mir seht nicht die Levone, aber da ist der Ätzem, der Emesse Ätzem, das, was mir lebt, ist noch größer wie die alle Giluim, was von Moschiach, weil ist in asa bittere Golus, seht ne Moschiach, und mir lebt Moschiach, und mir seine nicht gescheht, und gar nicht, nicht der Virus, und nicht das, und Natrias Amesim, die Gretchen, ist a viele, die was sind gegangen, auf den Kuroch, leben Moschiach, kommen gleich zurück, und mir viel sie mit sie, der Rebbe hat uns ausgelernt, als wir Achai tenne Liebe, sie mir wird noch stärker mit sie, und der Rebbe ist das helfen, soll das sein, da, lemato, measoret, poche, mit die fleischige Egen, Gesundheit. Lechaim, velivrocho, ich habe gemacht, der Broche, Freie, gleich in Unhilfe verbringen, und ich endigen mit der Lechaim, Befehl Mamesh, Yechi, Adoneinu, Moreinu, Verabenu, Melech HaMoshiach, Le'elam Vaed. Moshiach now.
Nobody told me that this would be a crying afternoon. Wer bist du von daheim? Wie ruft man der Mamen? Wie ruft man der Mamen? Wer bist du von daheim?
My mama is Rabbanit Kalman's son. My mama is Baruch Hashem, die was gewinnt, die erste was geführt, Kinderlach in der jüdische School, was gehabt, der Lessons, Maschinen von 90 Menschen geführt, was gekocht von der School. Die Mama ist gewinnt, die Schluche in Bezefer Schnee, in Kehila Schnee. My mama lebt Moschiach, was sie sind in Russland, hat die sich nicht vorgestellt, anders Moschiach, wie sehen ist die Fechte dort in Schliches, bis von Australien, bis Amerika, von Eretz Israel, bis Kochs.
Wow, thank you. Mit mir gebeten, lieber so auf Englisch.
Beweisen, als noch as the Welt now.
I'm going to repeat in English, in short. Je suis très heureuse que tu n'as pas parlé en français parce que ça, je ne peux pas comprendre. Un petit peu. So, she said, well, I'll make it short, that each house is a Mikdash Ma'at, and each one of us is a Kei and Gadol in our house. Some of us are a little more Gadol than others. Kei and Gadol, never mind. And that each one of us are the Kehanim in the Beis HaMikdash, and that everything that we do with our family is part of Bias HaMashiach. We're the Kehan, we cook, we clean, we do everything we're supposed to. And Tiferet is Malchus, Tiferet is Teda, Malchus is Mashiach. And the Rebbe said, the last Sikha, the Rebbe, so far the last Sikha in Shavuos. The Rebbe said that Menuchas HaNefesh v'Haguf, and what we need to do to have Menuchas HaNefesh v'Haguf is to live Mashiach Dik, to live like Mashiach is here already, to not get upset. I'm talking to me, to not get upset, to not chas v'shalom look at somebody badly, to not be jealous, to just be good and to be nice to the people that you're living with. I'm sure my husband is very happy to hear this, to be nice to the people that you're living with and to be calm and to be, that'll be the day. Moshiach better come quick, to be calm and to be good and to live Moshiach dik. Marachaya, thank you. A grace and thank. Merci beaucoup. Tu étais merveilleuse. And now I'd like to invite Mrs. from Iceland. Did you know we have young people? Her name is Mushki. She's got to be young in Iceland. And by the way, Goldie Yunik, you're doing incredible. This is so hard. Oh, you're very young.
Hi. It is so special to join all of you tonight from Iceland. So firstly, I'd like to say it's incredible to be part of this. I didn't think I'd have the opportunity to join this year. I also, being in Iceland this year, I missed the Kinas HaShlochais this year. I wasn't able to go. So this is kind of making up for it. Something very special I just wanted to share is that when all of this craziness started with Corona and the world was visibly changing and everybody understood there's something going on, us Lubavitchers, we were automatically, we straight away thought and we straight away understood. We said, the world is really getting ready for Mashiach and we really, really feel it. But I did not think that I would hear this from people in our community. People were calling us and saying, wow, this is really Chevle Mashiach. This is what the Navi speaks about. We have to get ready. And this is incredible because that's really the message of the Rebbe. Sometimes we feel like we have to be the ones to tell people, Mashiach is coming or tell people what they should be feeling and what they should be thinking. But actually, these people are connected to the Rebbe because they're part of the Jewish people, and they each are part of the Rebbe's connected to their neshama, and they each understand this on their own. And it was so amazing to hear it from people, which makes us think that, wow, we really have to get ready. There's no more fooling around. We always think, living here in Iceland, we always think of the pasuk, because we're actually the northernmost Chabad house in the world. We always think of the pasuk that it says, "Hineni mevi Aisam Eretz Safan," that Hashem will bring the people from the land of the north and bring us to Mashiach, and there will be Kol Gadol Yeshuvu Heina, and we daven and pray and really, really know that this is happening very soon. So l'chaim to all of you, to the Nashim, to Kanyais, who, if we didn't do it well enough till now, we're definitely being tried and tested right now to see how good we can stick it out. Hopefully Mashiach will come in all of our and all of your skos, and see you all in Yerushalayim. L'chaim.
She's not just smart, she's also beautiful. Mushki, thank you. What's your daughter's name? Mushki, what's your little girl's name?
This is Chana.
Hi, Chana.
Chana, say hi.
Hi, Chana. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm
blown away by this convention. I'm blown away by this convention. Okay, and now we have a most fun thing coming up. I'm going to try to look for the words from Yalkut Shimeni. We have Melea. She's from France. We have two friends today. Melea is an incredible singer, and she's beautiful, and she's marvelous. And she wrote this song especially for Bias HaMashiach. The words you know from Yalkut Shimeni, B'shor shemelech HaMashiach bo, Emed al gag beis HaMikdosh, Mashmiya liYisrael be'emer, Anovim, Higi azman geulaschem. And so I'm so excited. This is for women only. I'm so excited to have Melea de France, one of the most beautiful chanteuses in the world. Melea, I miss you.
I love you so much, Miriam. It's such
Me too.
You hear me? Yes?
Wait, so louder though, louder.
Louder, okay. Shalom likulam. Baruch Hashem, it's a great honor to sing in front of you.
Louder, j'attends pas. J'attends pas, un petit peu. Louder.
D'accord. Louder. OK. Et là, vous m'entendez?
Like that.
Shalom lekulam. Vous m'entendez mieux?
C'est bon, c'est bon.
Baruch Hashem, it's a great honor for me to sing in front of you for this amazing convention. Thanks for inviting me. 30 years ago, the Rebbe gave me $2 and the bracha to sing only for women. And all my life, I've stopped singing Hashem and the Geulah all over the world with all my strength and my soul. It is said that a little light repels a lot of darkness. That's why I'm going to sing you a beautiful song, Anavim, Anavim, which I hope will give you some hope, faith, and koach with the Geulah and Mashiach now. B'shor shemelcha Mashiach ba, b'shor shemelcha Mashiach ba, uyo yo 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 medaga gag besamigdash.
Everybody sing along.
בשור שמלך משיח בא, בשור שמלך משיח בא, אוי 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 עומד על גג בסמידש, משמיע לישראל ויאמר ענבים ענבים, הגיע הזמן, הגיע הזמן, גאולתכם. ואם אין אתם מאמינים, ואם אין אתם מאמינים, והוא והורישה זורח, נעלים נעלים, הגיע הזמן, הגיע הזמן, גאולתכם. ואם אין אתם מאמינים, ואם אין אתם מאמינים, הוא והורישה Hashem bless you.
You sing from your heart, Melea. I miss you.
Too, so much.
I love you.
Much you miss me.
Zayman, bye. You sing from your heart, like you mean it.
Always,
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She gorgeous, in and out. I met Melea the first time, I don't know, what is it, 30 years ago? You weren't born yet, 30 years ago. Maybe more, maybe more. Okay, I am so excited about this convention. It's turning out, I can't see everybody, but if you think it's great as I think it is, raise your hand and wave at me. Isn't it incredible? Thank you, Rabbanit. Thank you, Mrs. Yichelov. My mochatenist is there. Thank you. I don't see everybody else. Okay. Meital Shaibi is writing so that you see what she said, because I feel very bad. I didn't hear. Okay. Waving. Okay. Amazing. Thank you, honey. Thank you. It says from honey to everyone waving to you. Amazing. It's beautiful. Thank you from the kulaks to everybody. We now have 449 people coming in. Now, I don't even know what to say about the next person because she has changed the world. She really changed the world. Nshei Ginsburg went on shlichus in Borough Park. And I'm going to tell you something that's almost as hard as going to Iceland. It's a whole different kind of Iceland, and she started a terrific school called Gan Yisrael, and she does very, very well. And everybody, whatever she does, Baruch Hashem, she does well. And she has impacted on so many people. And you know what? She was very lucky. She grew up in the home of an incredible father. She's Rabbi Shvei's daughter. And you could tell that she took it all in. She seeped it all into herself. So between being Rabbi Shvei's daughter and Rabbi Ginsburg's wife, she's doing good. It gives me so much pleasure to introduce the shlucha to Borough Park, Sterne Ginsburg.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So it's Rabbi Shvei's daughter, Rabbi Ginsburg's wife, and Morris Swerdlove's student.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to collect myself after such an introduction. So, thank you. We are gathered here on Rosh Chodesh Sivan. It should be a schus for my father. It's so meaningful to me to be here in his honor. And we're gathered here, and we know in Yiddishkeit, a day on the calendar is not just something that's technical. It's not just days that we remember happened so many years ago. On this day, the same ruchnistic energy that took place, that fueled the events and the miracles of this day years ago, that's the same ruchnistic koyach that we have right here in this room, or in this collective room here and now. So today we arrived at the foot of Har Sinai, and we are gathered here in unity, Ki'ish Achad B'Lev Achad, and we have that same anticipation, one person with one heart waiting for one massive event to unfold. And as we stand before Har Sinai, we're at the threshold of a new reality. We're about to move from the ordinary life to a life of Torah. We're about to move from being ordinary people this is in a similar, even broader sense. We are also at the threshold of the new reality that everyone's been talking about, the new reality of Geula. We're in the process of moving between Galus to Geula. We're standing in an unprecedented moment in history, a point in time which we can still see and we can still feel. We're still plagued, painfully plagued by the suffering and the darkness of Galus. And yet at the same time, in this very space, we can still anticipate and see and taste the refreshing promise and the reality, the imminence of Geula. Reb Menachem Mendel Haradakar lived in Sfas, who's a big tzaddik. One time in that city, people were murmuring about, did Mashiach actually come? Because they heard the sound of the shofar that somebody was blowing from a tall mountain. And they were wondering about it. The sound was soft enough to give them a flavor, a whiff, but they weren't sure. Could it be? Is this the sound of Mashiach? Could it possibly be? And they turned to Reb Mendel Haradakar, and he opened up his window, stuck his head out the window, breathed in the ear, and said, sorry, it's not the time yet. Mashiach didn't yet come. And then and they went on, and they knew that this is what was the reality. And Hasidim often bring about this story, and they say, why didn't he smell the ear in his room? Why did he have to open the window to smell the ear and know if Mashiach was there or not? And the answer is that because he didn't have to smell outside the home, he needed to smell outside the home, because inside his home, the ear, the energy, the presence of Mashiach was already fully there. It was already filling his home. He needed to look outside in order to know if Mashiach had actually come. What does this mean? How could a home be filled with the presence of Mashiach? And this question is especially important for each of us today, because years ago, in the times of Reb Mendel Haradakar, his home was unique. Today, Each of us can do this, and we need to do this. Each of us can fill our homes and our hearts with the presence of Mashiach. We're here, all of us are here, at this point of transition between Galus and Geula. And in this monumental time in history, at this turning point, this point of transition, we can see and experience both sides of the coin. We're impacted both by the pain of Galus and the imminence of Geula. And it's not just that we're impacted by both sides of the turning point. We can actually be on either side of the transition. In every moment, with every choice we make, with everything we do, it's either going to be a Galus moment or a Geula moment, a Galus choice or a Geula choice. So what does this actually look like in practical terms? How can we anchor ourselves within this new reality of Geula and let go of the Galus that we really need to let go of? So I want to take a few moments to learn something from the most recent time the Rebbe addressed this convention. By the way, this convention, for me, the minute she asked me if I could be part of this convention, I right away said, yes, it's such a schus to be here. And I wanted to start with a joke, but I said, I'm not going to start with a joke because I don't know, I feel like I'm in 770 and this is the Rebbe's time. The Rebbe speaks to us. And I want to, sorry, somebody just distracted me. And they said that, I thanked my father, and Miriam Swerdlove said, I grew up in the home of my father and the home of my mother and the home of my husband, and I'm with my husband. And I said, I also have Morris Swerdlove, and my daughter is gently reminding me that I also have to say, I grew up also in the home of my mother. So, okay, sorry for that distraction. But thank you, Mommy, who's probably watching and shepping a lot of nachas, as she always does. Thank you. So let's learn something from the most recent time that the Rebbe addressed this wonderful convention. And that was on Chav Ches Iyar in Tafshin Nun Aleph. In that talk, in that sikha to us women, the Rebbe is talking about preparing for the new reality of Kabbalas HaTorah, receiving the Torah. And certainly this message is also guidance for us in how we can prepare for the new reality of Kabbalas Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu. So let's take a few moments. We're going to learn a little bit from that sikha. Okay, before Hashem gave us the Torah, Hashem, we needed to be prepared. We needed to be ready to receive it. And Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu how to prepare us for getting the Torah. Hashem told Moshe these words from Parshas Yisro, and many of us are familiar with it. Speak, say this to Beis Yaakov, to the women, and then tell it to the men. Rashi brings this, the Mechilta brings this, that the Kaisemer is the women, the Saged is the men. And why did Moshe Rabbeinu speak to the women first? The Rebbe says it's because naturally a house, the reality, the atmosphere, the environment of any situation is always determined by the women in that situation, by the woman of that situation. A house runs according to the Akaras HaBayis. The world is led mostly by the influence of women. We are the ones who form the foundational beliefs of our children. We are the ones who have the greatest influence on our husbands. We have a strong influence on all people. And that's why, says the Rebbe, that's why Hashem told Moshe to speak to us first in preparation for Matan Torah, because if we would be prepared, we would then inspire the world. So Moshe Rabbeinu does this, and he goes to speak to the women first, because we are the key players in preparing the world for receiving the Torah. And as we're going to see soon, we'll bring about this. The Rebbe doesn't say this in this sikha, but we'll bring about this. The same concept applies to how we prepare the world and ourselves for, not in that order, ourselves and the world, both in the cycle, for receiving receiving Mashiach. So as key players in receiving the world and preparing the world for receiving the Torah, what do we need to do? What's our job description? What's our mission statement? How do we get this done? What are we actually supposed to do? So the Rebbe says we're going to have more understanding about how we do this by understanding a little bit more and learning a little bit more about Sfiras HaEmer. And the Rebbe asks a question. The Rebbe says, naturally, we only count something when there's a purpose, when there's a reason to be counting it. We count something when we need to make a decision based on that number, or when counting makes a difference to what's going on. which makes us wonder why we count the days before Shavuos. Our relationship with time is not about the numbers. Our relationship with time is about what happens in the days. It's about how we use the days. Wouldn't it seem more meaningful to count our actions, to count the mitzvahs that we do every day, to count the things that we're taking on to prepare for Matan Torah? The days don't change because we count them. Even without counting the days, we would still have 49 days till Matan Torah. So what's the message here? What can we learn from this? And the Rebbe then answers, and he says, Hashem loves us so completely, so dearly. In the words of the Rebbe, Nishnar as the Ebishter will ze, na is verkocht in ze. Not only does Hashem want us, not only does he desire us, he's verkocht in us. He is passionately obsessed with us. So it's clear that our relationship is so strong. Of course, we're going to fill every moment, every day with Hashem's work. Of course, we're going to do mitzvahs. There's nothing new about that. And that's why we don't make brachas. We don't wake up in the morning and say, Hineni, I'm making a bracha that this day is going to be filled with mitzvahs. We don't state the obvious. Instead, we count the days. Why? Because in counting a day, in having the mitzvah to count the day, this is where something extraordinary is highlighted, magnified, and expressed. This is where we see the Ata Bechartanu Mikala Amim. Here's where we see Hashem's unique relationship with us play itself out every single day as we prepare for Matan Torah. Hashem loves us and chooses to have an intimate relationship with us, not just when we're doing mitzvahs, but in our regular, ordinary lives as well. We're connected with Hashem, not just in the times of the day when we're removed from our physical lives, but dafka specifically, and even more so, when we're fully involved in our physical lives. And that's why we count Sfiras HaEmer, the days, to show that this day, which is technically unchangeable, it's still the same 24 hours. It's never going to be more, it's never going to be less. But because of our relationship with Hashem, it's a whole different kind of day. It's not just a mitzvah that makes the day special. Even the day of this day is special. And this shows and this reminds us that our day is special and our life is special because not just because of the mitzvahs that we do, which could be counted. It's because of the stuff that never needs to be counted. Our day is special because of how we carry ourselves, how we think, how we speak, how we engage in our relationships, how we cook, how we clean, how we talk to our children, to our husbands, how we think for ourselves. It's in every ordinary part of the day. And that's our mission statement, to infuse the ordinary with the extraordinary aspect of our relationship with Hashem. And the Rebbe says that this guidance of how to prepare for the receiving of the Torah helps us understand our key role in this mission, our key role in preparing ourselves and all of the people in our lives for Matan Torah. Our influence is far greater and far deeper, much more profound than the specific mitzvahs that we do. Our role is to infuse a spirit of Kedusha, an awareness of Hashem's presence in every single detail, even the most mundane, simple aspects of our lives, our homes, our relationships, our lives. I said that twice. This is our mission statement. This is our key role in the world, to bring Kedusha everywhere, to recognize and influence all people and the entire world to recognize. The entire world should recognize that there's nothing ordinary about our day. We can and we must elevate every moment. Every moment is a godly moment. Every experience is an open page, waiting to be infused with meaning and with purpose, with Hashem's presence. And the Rebbe goes on to say that there are 3 mitzvahs that are uniquely connected to women, and our mission as women is reflected in these special mitzvahs. We'll say it very quickly. Firstly, the mitzvah of benching licht, blessing the candles that we light before welcoming the Shabbos into our homes. When we light a candle, we're not just brightening the room, we're not just brightening the table. Our whole home becomes infused with the godly light. The mitzvah of kashrus, keeping a kosher kitchen. When we eat food and we give others to eat, the food doesn't just pass through our bodies, It becomes part of who we are, an indescribably profound, pervasive part of who we are. It actually becomes our very flesh and blood. And the same thing with the mitzvah of Taras HaMashpach. It infuses the entire home. The entire family becomes uplifted, illuminated with the energy of connection to Hashem, Kedusha and Tahara. The Rebbe gives the practical guidance to make sure we each have a pushka in our kitchens and to use this pushka every time before we begin cooking to elevate our food, to uplift our work in the kitchen. And the Rebbe says we should encourage our girls, every single girl to do the same. Every woman, single or married, has a part in fulfilling this mission, has a key role to play in fulfilling this mission of being the ones to lead the world in preparing for Matan Torah. And my addition is in preparing for Kabbalah, but the Rebbe said this many, many times also in other sichos, that it's our mission to prepare the world for Kabbalah's Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu. And there we have the Rebbe's guidance for our unique role. And certainly this same, I just want to bring about this for a couple more minutes. We all want Mashiach to come now. We daven every day for it. And there's something very curious about the way we daven and the words we say in our davening about Mashiach's arrival. We don't mention one word about the broken hearts. We don't talk about the young Yisraelim, the Almanis, the poverty that's devastating us on so many levels. We don't talk about the brokenness. We don't talk about the darkness. All we ask for is spiritual stuff. Let our eyes see the return of your glory to Yerushalayim. Very nice. But what about the Yisraelim? What about the Almanis? What about the poverty? What about the dysfunction? What about the pain, the suffering? Why aren't we talking about that in our davening? And I think it's because the ruchnius, the connection with Hashem, the Pesachazena Einenu, the Semach David Avdecha, connected to the Rebbe and experiencing Hashem's Shechina in a close way, that's the essence of the cure. That's the essence of what Geula is all about. And that's the first thing we'll notice when Mashiach is here. The first thing we'll notice, and that's probably why we're starting to notice it now. The whole world, Emunah and Bitachon, have become popular. Since when has it become popular to talk about connection with Hashem? It's a popular concept in all our communities. The first thing we'll notice when Mashiach comes is Hashem's Shechina revealed for all to see. And it's not just the first thing we'll notice. It's the one cure. It's the one detail that will bring on in every single aspect of our lives will be better. All the brokenness will be healed. All the tears will no longer flow. And instead our hearts will be filled with joy forever. That's the key. So it's not that we don't, why don't we daven for the brokenness? We are davening for the brokenness. This is the one answer that we all need. Because when we have the Shechina close, when we have the Sechazena Einenu, when we actually could see Hashem's closeness to us, and V'Samach David Avdecha, when we feel close to the Rebbe, and we feel his presence with us here and now, all of our Gullah's problems are at least a drop taken away. A drop, it takes the edge off. Now we could better understand the moment, the story of Reb Mendel. In his home, he was already so connected with Hashem that on some level, to the extent that it's humanly possible, his home was already imbued with the air of Mashiach. And today, each of us can prepare for Mashiach by doing the same thing in our hearts and in our homes. We could start experiencing a closeness with Hashem. And when we do, we give ourselves a taste of the new reality. We're standing at the crossroads, at the turning point, at the intersection between Galus and Geula. And by connecting to Hashem and living with Hashem's in a very real way, we take the edge off our many Galus problems and we take that step into the new reality of Galus, of Geula. And we don't just do this for ourselves, because doing this brings it on for the whole world. So I don't want to repeat everything that was already said before. So many people said so many beautiful things. I want to talk about quickly 5 actions that we could actually do to make all of this what everyone's talking about in this whole convention a drop closer. Everyone spoke about learning about Mashiach. We spoke about doing more mitzvahs, mitzvahim, outreach. Let's talk about 5 action steps that each of us can do today. I want to share that in Tafshin and Aleph and Tafshin and Beis, when the Rebbe was speaking so passionately, so urgently about preparing for Mashiach, many, many, many times, the Rebbe included in the Sichos, an instruction and guidance to reinforce our connection with the Hasidic Parsha, with the Alter Rebbe's teachings, with the foundations of Hasidus. Because by learning and being strengthened and energized by the basics of Hasidus, the Hasidic Parsha, that brings on the Aleph of Geula into the Geula. So here are 5 action steps, and I put it to the acronym of SHINE, S-H-I-N-E, because it's connected to how we shine a light, we bench licht, and it's also because the summary of it all is about letting Hashem's light shine and illuminate the Gullus, bringing the Aleph of Alufay Shel Olam into our lives and transforming Gullus into Geula. Okay, so the S is show up. That sounds simple enough, right? Be present. I think this pain of this Gullus has been so intense that a lot of people are saying, this is too hard. Wake me up when things get better in the world. Wake me up when Mashiach is here, so I won't be part of the process. I know that I say that sometimes. I feel like that sometimes in the morning. Wake me up when Mashiach is here, that I'm done. I'm done with the Gullus. Hashem gave us this reality and we can do it. It's okay to feel the pain of Gullus and be saddened by it. And I think we need to feel it. We need to turn to Hashem, to cry to Hashem from that deep place inside of us that is truly broken and indescribably pained and disappointed by the fact that Mashiach is not yet here. Let's go there. We don't want to go there. We avoid going there, but let's go there. Let's show up for this reality. Miriam Hanaviah was called Miriam because of the painful reality into which she was born. She was very connected to the pain of Gullus. She felt it so deeply. And the Rebbe says that specifically because she felt it so deeply, she was also able to feel and taste the promise of Geula, and that's what inspired her and energized her in preparing for that Geula. So if we want to feel the emotion of Geula, if we want to be present with the joy and the energy of anticipating the Geula, we also must show up to this moment while we're still at that intersection between Gullus and Geula. This moment while we're still waiting for the final turn on our road. And right, it's in the merit of righteous women. Let's not say, let other women do this. Let's show up, each and every one of us. It's up to us. Let's really do this, each and every one of us. It's not about the big projects. It's not about the billboards and the big events. It's really about in our own lives, in our own homes, and our own relationships. Show up as the leader, the one who is taking the lead role in preparing for Kabbalah's Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu. So there we have the S. The others will be shorter. S is for show up. H is a new word for some of you, habituate. My daughter wanted to know what does habituate to me when I told her what I'm speaking about. Habituate from Miloshin habit. Habituate your mind to think about Hashem and to think about Geula. Many times people tell me, I know that Hashem loves me, but I don't feel loved. I believe that Mashiach is coming very soon, but I don't feel the joy. And this course, this is normal. The Alter Rebbe teaches us in Tanya that the only way to have emotions about Hashem is if we invest time and invest our minds and hearts in thinking about it. The more we think about Hashem, the more we think about Mashiach, the more we will feel connected to Mashiach coming, and the more excited we will feel. So one way to habituate our minds to think about Hashem in a connection to a practical action, give tzedakah every single day. Say Gedolah tzedakah, think about it. And doing this generates emotions and a feeling of connection to it. It's like taking the file out of the filing cabinet and keeping it on top. We have all the knowledge about Mashiach. We know about Mashiach. We know Mashiach is coming. We know about Hashem. We know how to answer other people's questions. Think about it in an active, proactive, way, consciously, every single day. Habituate your mind to think about Hashem. And that's what's going to make it part of our day-to-day reality. So S, show up for this moment, show up as you're in our role as the leader, the one who's playing the key role in bringing Mashiach. H, make a habit, a practice of consciously thinking about Hashem and thinking about Mashiach, and allow yourself to feel those emotions and do something with that. S is for show up. H is for habituate your mind. I, invite Hashem into every story. The difference between Geula and Geula is all about the Aleph. Let's prepare for the new reality of Geula by inviting the Aleph into our lives. A young woman told me that when she was newly married, her mother-in-law didn't live in the same city, and she came once to visit. And during the half hour that she was passing through her house, while she was sitting with her mother-in-law, she threw up. And in Borough Park, mother-in-laws are very fearsome figures. And so I told the story a couple of times in many different works. And I always say, and people in Borough Park could relate to this more, I think, than you. But okay, think of the mother-in-law as a very fearsome, important, drama-creating figure. And I asked the women, when this young woman, newlywed, is telling her husband or her friends or her sister about her experience that day, will she include the fact that when she's telling them that she threw up? Did I say before that she threw up? Okay, I don't know if I said. Okay, when she's telling them that she threw up, is she going to tell them that her mother-in-law was in the room while she threw up? That some of it landed on her mother-in-law's skirt? Is she going to tell that part of the story? And everyone says, of course, because that's the drama, that's the energy, that's what makes it into a whole overwhelming, that changes the whole story. So Kal v'chomer, a million times Kal v'chomer, lahavdil elef alufay, whatever you're supposed to say. Imagine if we tell the stories of our day to ourselves and to other people with Hashem in the room. He's got to make a difference, because every day of our life, there's a story happening. We tell ourselves the story of our lives, and we tell some of the stories to people we care about, people we're connected with. What kind of stories are we going to tell? What kind of stories are we going to have? Is Hashem going to be in the room? And I think we can all make our stories so much happier, so much more meaningful. It inspires us to show up with so much more strength and love, compassion and empathy, and all that we want to be, when we know that Hashem is in the room, and when we remember that Hashem loves us and is doing everything in our best interest. So S, show up for the moment and for your role. H, habituate your mind to think about Hashem and think about Mashiach. I, invite the Aleph of Geula into every story, so that you'll transform your personal story into a Geula experience. N, notice the goodness that Hashem gives you. It's so easy to get caught up. There's plenty of pain to go around. There's plenty of things that are broken. There's so much that needs to be fixed. There's so much that's not working in the world. Let's notice the good. The Rebbe says in a letter, the Rebbe quotes from the Zohar, doesn't quote directly, says that we learn what it says in the Zohar, that when we notice the good and we thank Hashem for the good, that in itself creates the channel, creates the tziner. It opens the door. It opens the flow of Hashem's chasadim, the revealed brachas to us. And it's the same with the opposite, says the Rebbe. So notice the good that Hashem is giving you. Take a moment every day, at least once a day, at least, as many times as you could, whenever you remember. Notice what's right instead of what's wrong. Notice what's complete, what's whole instead of what's broken. And celebrate it. And thank Hashem for it. And it's the same with other people in our lives. Notice the good in other people. For whatever is working well, don't take anything for granted. It's all a chesed from Hashem. With all the levayas that we were busy with it in the last while, I think as a community, we realized that we're all so much more connected with each other than we ever thought before. And at least from my personal experience, what I see in my own little environment, I think we became more willing to love and less obsessed with hate. in Crown Heights and around the world, there has been in Lubavitch community a huge upgrade, a huge push for more achdus. And now, as the virus winds its way down, let's keep that achdus up. Let's never let it down. Let the virus go down, but let's keep the achdus up. Enough with the hateful comments online. Enough with forwarding non-productive, non-meaningful videos or messages on WhatsApp. Who needs it? It's not going to bring Mashiach. It's gulistic. Seriously, let's notice the good. Hashem is so farkocht in us. He's so obsessed and passionately in love with us. Let's be farkocht. Let's be obsessed with spreading only love and kindness. Okay. And by the way, this is also true with meaningful debate. There's a Lubavitcher Bacher a Bacher who was becoming connected to Lubavitch, and his family was very, very, very antagonistic about it. And he wrote a letter to the Rebbe, and he said he basically wanted encouragement and strength in his many debates and arguments that he was having with family members. And the Rebbe answered one powerful line that totally guides me in so many moments. The Rebbe says, Ein ritzayni bevikuchem. Debates are not my desire. It's not what I want. Ein ritzayni bevikuchem. I don't want debates. V'yidabru b'parshas hashavua. Speak in parsha. In other words, don't deal with darkness. Okay, we all have differences. Who cares? Don't talk about it. Talk about the light. Talk about the love. Talk about what connects us. Talk about the parsha and what we can learn from it and how we can all grow, because that's our own unified shining light. So S is show up for the moment for our key role. H, make a habit of thinking about Hashem and thinking about Geula. I invite the Aleph of Geula into every day, every moment, every story. Tell the story with Hashem in the picture. And N, notice the good and the blessings in your life, in other people, and all around us, and thank Hashem. And the last one is E. Let's experience the Geula. Let's experience the Geula. We're standing at that space where we could experience the Gullus. We are all experiencing the Gullus. We got no choice about that. But let's also experience the Geula. That is a choice. And that's a choice that each of us can make every single moment. I always say imagine a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, but he never uses a dime of his money. Is he rich or is he poor? Billionaire never uses a dime. Is he rich or is he poor? I'm letting you think of it. Technically, he's rich, but practically, he's as poor as they come. He doesn't benefit from his wealth. He's not living a rich life. We, each of us, have been so blessed. Of course, as we come to Shavuos, we know we're blessed with the Torah, which is a wealth. We're blessed with Ata Bechartanu. Hashem chooses us to have this unique, special relationship with us where everything, even the day, is special. Even the day is meaningful. We're blessed with an neshama, an actual part of Hashem within us. We're blessed with a Rebbe like no other generation has ever had. We're blessed with so much Teiras HaChasidus. We're blessed with the reality and the promise of Mashiach coming. We're blessed. This is honestly, it's what keeps me sane, knowing that Mashiach is coming, and knowing that Hashem is with us, and knowing that Hashem is good, and trusting Hashem, and which I only have because of Chassidus, because this is what we were given. This is the gift. So we have tremendous spiritual opportunity. Nobody before us in history had this. Let's use it. Let's be rich on a personal level. Let our neshama shine within us and from within us. Let's act on the promise, the imminence of Geula. Let it make us feel rich and joyful, excited, energized. So that's it. S, show up for the moment, for our role in history, our role in preparing the world for Mashiach. H, make a habit of thinking proactively about Hashem and thinking really about anything we want to live with. I, invite the Aleph of Geula into our lives. Invite Hashem into every story. Don't leave Hashem out of the picture. It changes everything. And notice the good in our lives, in other people. And E, let's experience the Geula now. Each moment in which we shine, we're pulling aside that curtain that hides Hashem's presence. Our efforts to live within this new reality of Geula is literally, it's not just benefiting ourselves, it's eliminating the Gullus one bit at a time. It's helping us get through this transition. Let's do it. Shine a light, shine away the Gullus, and may Hashem shine his brachos on each of us and on all of Klal Yisrael. And we should be zeicha to celebrate this year's Shavuos with Torah Chadasha Me'iti Teitze, with the Torah of Mashiach for real. Thank you so much.
Mute me, please. Wow, Tavita and Rehovot, I'm glad you were there. Sterner Ginsburg, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And now I know what I'm going to do tomorrow on Coffee with Miriam. Shine. I love Rosh Hashanah, and it's good and it's deep, and you can do it as deep as you can and as not deep. It was incredible. Thank you. And thank you, Sterner, for sharing the words of the Rebbe with us. And it's so hard to say that was, but it soon will be again, because we are, as you said, on the threshold of the Geula. Thank you, Sterner Ginsburg. And now, I keep writing to people, and they don't answer me, so I don't know what to do, so I'm going to introduce her without a name. First of all, I want to say that somebody wrote, I don't remember her name, and she said that Avram Friedman, that we should have a thank you Hashem pushka in our kitchen. A special, the Rebbe talked about having a pushka in the kitchen before we cook, and a thank you Hashem pushka in the kitchen. Okay, and now I am so excited about this, but forgive me, the genius that's doing it, I don't have your name. I'm a little embarrassed, but it's not written in my paper. Sand art. And the sand art is going to display the days of Moshiach. I'll get the name in between. Have a good time, ladies. Then after that, we just have 2 girls, and then we'll all drink l'chaim. Okay.
The Rebbe prophetically announced,
Anavin, Higiyas man Gulasan. Humble ones, the time of your redemption has arrived. A new reality, the world of Mashiach is emerging. Let's open our eyes and see.
we will witness the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi coming down from heaven to Beis Rabbeinu Shebebavel, Beis Mashiach 770. Then, all the shuls and Batei Chabad will join 770 and fly to Yerushalayim, becoming a part of the Beis HaMikdash. Garzev im keves. The wolf will dwell with the lamb. There will be true peace among nations. No more wars, no more competition. True peace in our hearts, in our homes, and families. Peace in the entire world. Ikabetz nidachenu me'arba kanfais haaretz. Hashem will gather all Jews from the four corners of the world and return them to our holy land of Eretz Yisrael. Umala haaretz de'as Hashem. We will see Hashem. As the waves of the world are filled with Torah and Chassidus now, they will be revealed by the coming of Mashiach. Bila es hamavet l'netzach umacha Hashem. They will be revealed by the coming. We will see Hashem. As the waves of the world are filled with Torah and Chassidus now, they will be revealed by the coming of Mashiach. Bila es hamavet l'netzach umacha Hashem dima me'al kol panim. Death will be abolished forever. No more sadness, no more tears. We will be reunited with our loved ones, parents and children, family and friends that we missed so dearly. We will see our Avais, Moshe Rabbeinu, and Aaron, our Rebbeim, all the tzaddikim and tzidkaniyos of all generations. The Kohen will burn the 10th para aduma, which will purify us all. Imagine our Rebbe, Melech HaMashiach, teaching our entire nation from the beginning of time until the present day. The incredible Achdus, the greatest depths of Torah, teaching and reaching each and every one of us. Chassidus will permeate our entire existence. At last, the purpose of the entire world's creation will come to be. We will all know, feel, experience, and see Hashem's presence in His world. It will be His Dira B'Tachtainim. Our Avodah will be complete, and we will have the greatest simcha serving Hashem in the everlasting Beis HaMikdash Hashlishi. We want Mashiach now.
Again, I'm crying. What did you feel when all of a sudden the Rebbe's face came on? I didn't expect it. And that's the way Mashiach's going to come. We're not going to all of a sudden. Sivi Waxman is the, thank you, whoever wrote to me. And at the end, they said it again. Sivi Waxman, somebody wrote to me, is the name of this incredibly talented person. Wow, look what you can do. Just go like this. I do this, nothing. I guess everybody has their keches, right? What a convention. What a convention. But we don't want another one like that. The next one, I'm announcing it now. Put it in your book. I'm announcing it now. The next convention is in Eretz Yisrael with Mashiach. And they better let me be chairman. I put in my work. I've been chairman for so many years. Let me be chairman then too, okay? Okay. And now, I am so happy to introduce one of my Talmidas. I always ask her mother, what do you feed your kids? Because every single one of them, Baruch Hashem, is a Dangamebischen and Mushlemes. One of my Talmidas, she's a Madricha in Sem Aleph. Her name is in Beis Rivka, and her name is Devorah Zalmanov. Gives me so much pleasure to bring Devorah Zalmanov to you now.
Hi, everyone. That was really nice. And my name is Devorah Zalmanov. I'm a Madricha in Beis Rivka Seminary this year. And in this week's Parsha, it discusses the different karbanos that the Nesiim of each Shevet brought for the Chanukas Beis HaMikdash. And the Rebbe explains that by learning and discussing the karbanos and these inyanim that these Nesiim brought, that actually Hashem considers it considers it as if we brought those karbanos and we built the Beis Hamikdash. And even more than that, by learning about the Beis Hamikdash and these inyanim, and in general about learning about Mashiach, this will actually bring about Mashiach and lead us to the days of Geula. And one of the programs that we did this year that sticks out from all the norm was on Yud Shvat. In honor of Yud Shvat and Shnas HaShivim, we organized a interseminary conference actually over Zoom. This was before anyone knew what Zoom was. We had no idea what it was. We were really nervous, and now every 7-year-old could make a Zoom event. But when we did it, we're like, what's Zoom? And it was really beautiful. We had representatives from each seminary, either it was a principal or a student, contribute to the program with Tehillim speeches. It was beautiful. And what the takeaway from the program was learning, first of all, that we introduced that each SEM should create a learning group and learn a few sichos about women and Mashiach, and that we wanted to reach a collective goal of a really nice sizable chunk of neshek collectively together. And that was our program. It was so beautiful. And what was really meaningful, which I feel like we could all experience, especially nowadays that Zoom and all these online conferences are happening, was that sense of achdus that was there, that wherever we were in the world, we were somehow united. We were in totally different places, New York, Italy, Eretz Yisrael, but at the same time, we were all doing the same program, tuning into the same Zoom event or same conference. And it had this energy of achdus that I couldn't describe, but I feel like now we could all understand it because we're all experiencing it through all of these conferences. So may this Shavuos, we really hear that Sarah Dibris in Yerushalayim with the sense of achdus and Ke'ishacha b'levacha, just like we got the Torah. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I wish I was in seminary so I could see you again. Thank you, Devorah. Thank you. Our last speaker, and then the resolutions, but we need to be together. Something important, I think. Our last speaker from Machon Yados, I'm sure she will tell you about how they stayed open. And I got a text that the seminary in Yerushalayim, I think it's called, somebody help me, the seminary that our first speaker went to. Our speaker from Eretz Yisrael, whose name is from Rehovot, Meital Shaibi. She went to that seminary and that too was open. Okay, and now I'm so happy to introduce to you the Machon Yadus representative, Hannah van Belargen. I hope I said it right, Hannah.
Perfectly.
Okay, yay!
Thank you so much. It's really, truly an honor to be sharing with you all today.
I have to tell you, Hannah, usually the girls get married that year when they're our representatives.
Amen. Amen.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm currently a student here at Machon Leahadis in Crown Heights. And so to summarize my story, it's going to be in 7 pivotal life moments. And so I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, in the small borough of Lidditz with approximately 13,000 people or so. And to my knowledge, my siblings and I were the only Jewish children in town. And my mother is Jewish, born to Jewish parents. However, my father grew up very religious and very much Christian. So until around the age of 12, I went with my family every Sunday to church, to an evangelical Christian church. And as a young child, it was a little confusing because I was going to church, believing that I was Christian, but both my mother and my father were telling me I was Jewish. So I always told people I was both, and they would just laugh. So I don't know. So I was confused. And then after graduating from high school, I did a year at community college and stayed at home, and then transferred to Temple University in Philadelphia. And this would be the first best decision or pivotal moment in my journey to becoming observant. And it was at Temple University that I joined a sorority. And joining that sorority was the second best decision in my journey. And all of my closest friends in the sorority were Jewish, the first time I ever had Jewish friends. And so I went home with them for the high holidays to see how they celebrated and to celebrate with them. And so slowly then I started to go to Hallel for Friday night dinners and for shears and things like that. And it was in 2016, a year before graduating, that my very dear friend encouraged me to go on my birthright trip. So this trip would be the third best decision of my journey. And the day we arrived in Israel, we traveled to the north and we were hiking up the Arbel Cliffs, and it's sunset and we're overlooking the Kinneret. And it was like the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I told everyone, this is it. This is what it's about. I'm moving to Israel. So everyone just kind of laughed and was like, chill out, you know, you just got here. So I was serious. And so throughout our trip, when we were at Har Herzl, before going to Yad Vashem, someone came to speak to our group about a summer internship program. And so then I was like, oh, this is great. I can do this internship program. I'll do the theme that puts me in Jerusalem. And I like had it all figured out. So that's exactly what I did. And I came back. So I went on the winter trip in the winter of 2016. And I came back that summer for my internship program. And after the first month of my internship, I applied for Aliyah. So I told my boss, I'm returning, I'll be back. I'm going home for spring semester and I'm coming back. And I told my parents also what I was doing. And they did support me. They were a little upset about the distance, but they were pretty much on board. And so I graduated in December of 2017, and 5 days later flew out from JFK to make Aliyah. And that would be the fourth best decision I ever made. So my internship boss, her name is Shlomit, and she is modern Orthodox. And once I moved to Israel, she started inviting me to her house for Shabbos. And I immediately made myself like a very new addition to their wonderful family. And later she introduced me to a girl named Sharon, who would become my roommate. And so moving in with Sharon was the fifth best decision that I would make in my journey. Not only did Sharon become my best friend, but she also invited me to her great aunt's house, Hani Popku, who lives right outside of the old city in Yerushalayim. The Popkus are such an incredible family. And so the first time I met them was on Hanukkah. We went to their house, and I knew that Sharon's family had traveled a lot growing up. They lived in all different countries, and so they went to Chabad houses for high holidays. And while they were traveling, Hani, her great aunt, wanted them to still have somewhat of a Jewish education. So she would do like Torah Skype lessons with them. And so having known this, when I met her, I just immediately asked her to teach me. And I don't know where that came from, but that's what I did. And so for a year and a half, I would go to Aunt Hani's house every week. And we would read Chumash, we would study Shabbos Halacha, basic kashrus, and things like that. And so fast forward to May of 2019, when I decided to move back home. I needed to pay off the overwhelming amount of student loan debt that I had accrued over 5 years of university. But back in the States, I was unable to find my place, and my neshama was very much in despair, being so far away from any kind of Jewish community or Jewish life. And so I decided to go live with my Jewish grandmother in South Florida in hopes that I would be part of a Jewish community there. And this decision was ultimately the sixth best decision in my journey. And so I started working at a hotel in Miami, not at all the job or career path that I wanted, but I had to pay bills. So at the end of July, this beautiful religious Orthodox Jewish couple walks into the hotel, and I was immediately overwhelmed with joy. And I it was so funny. My coworker was like, "What are you freaking out about?" I was like, "You don't understand. Like, they're Jewish." And so I immediately started a conversation with Zizi and Yehuda Piamenta from Crown Heights. And I just blurted out like how happy I was to see this religious Jewish couple. And I just moved back from Jerusalem and it was amazing. And so we exchanged numbers and they told me that they were visiting from New York. And when I came into work the following day, they had already left to go back to New York. But my coworker had told me that they left this gift for me. And it was a beautiful siddur and Hebrew flashcards. And so a week later, Zizi had called me and told me that I was offered a month scholarship to come and study at Machon Liahadis, try it out, come see what it's about, what New York's like. And so I was initially very excited. And I was like, okay, let me, this was in late August. So I was like, let me figure it out. Maybe by November I can come. I don't know. And so my grandmother and my mother were kind of like, well, you should work. I don't know. And so it took about 6 months of convincing me to just come. And so I did finally. And Rabbi Menachem and Chava Schmidt from Philadelphia, who I'm very, very close with, very much helped me along the way in this journey, and also including my initial introduction into Crown Heights. So after my second visit to Crown Heights for Shabbos, which the second visit was during Kenneth, I took the bus home and packed up my things and moved into the dorm that following Wednesday. And it was like the 7th best decision I've ever made. And just becoming observant and studying every day is the greatest time for me. Every day is something new. I truly have so much joy in everything that I do and such a stronger relationship with Hashem. And I'm truly very proud of how far I've come in my Yiddishkeit. And all of my teachers here at Machon Liahadis, headed by Rabbi Majeski, are so incredible and warm and wise. I'm truly learning and growing from the best of the best, really. So I can't even begin to tell you how much I've gained from these teachers. The amount of love and respect they have for all of us is incredible. They are always so eager to answer all of my questions. And recently, someone had asked me what my favorite class is, and I really couldn't decide. I was like, everything's so new. I love every class. What do you mean? But Hasidus Tanya has been incredible to learn. And I consciously try to live with Ahavas Yisrael each day. And living in the dorm with 16 incredible sisters and our dorm mother, Mrs. Ruddle, has been an incredible experience. And we're bonded in ways that I never imagined possible. And we've been quarantined here together even now. And during our Open Door, Open Hearts campaign that we're having right now, I'm learning so much about the love that we have for each other and for our school, and the love that this community has for Machon Liahadis. So for anyone who is considering studying in seminary, 1, absolutely do it. And 2, do it here at Machon Liahadis. Thank you.
Hey, I got already a bunch of messages. What's her phone number? I think 5 of them were from Shatchanim. Let me know. Maybe we'll make Shavuot brachas. I've done it for a few girls from Machon.
Amen.
That was beautiful, Ziskite. Absolutely beautiful. I'd like to give a shout out to my Chaskin grandchildren who are watching me. Hi, kids. I love you. Thank you for watching. You're so happy when your own watch, you know? Okay. Now comes a hard time. For me, maybe because I'm overly emotional about this. Rebbe, we invited you into our home and you came. We were supposed to be in 770 to see you, and whatever happened, happened. So you are now in our home. In every single, right now I'm looking at the numbers, 479 homes. The Rebbe is in 479 homes. And we can't hear the Sikha, but we can learn everything that we've learned. And we want to say, everybody, I will read the resolutions, but I'd like everyone to say l'chaim to everyone, to every single Melia. Tu es? Très bien. 1, 2, 3, yay. To every single one of us out there. L'chaim, sisters. L'chaim, Rebbe. Rebbe, our resolutions are, we, Nshei Ubnos Chabad, take upon ourselves to rise to the new reality with simcha and bitochen. We will do everything we can and above to fulfill the will of Hashem and the directives of the Rebbe, Melech HaMashiach, to live with Mashiach every moment, united with all of Nshei Chabad in the world and all of the Noshim and Tzidkonias of our generation. We cry out to Hashem, Lomo Nigora, Lomo Nigora. We want to be in 770. We want to bring Karbonis in the Beis HaMikdash. Hashlishi, not us, the Kayan, we'll just stand there. Yeah. We want to see our Rebbe immediately leading us in the Geula Shlema B'Hamitis. Now, everyone together, we want Moshiach now. Thank you for joining us in the most incredible convention. Thank you, l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
That's it, it's finished.
L'chaim, thank you, everybody. Please applause, because I think this was just an incredible convention. Thank you very much. L'chaim. Au revoir. Thank you, seid gesund. You could close now. Thank you very much to Goldie in the Beis Rivka room, Goldie Yunik, for doing all this. Thank you, I appreciate it. Now I need a tissue. Thank you.
בשוש מלחם אשר בא בשוש מלחם אשר בא אוי 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 עומד על גג בית המקדש משמיע לישראל ויאמר בשוש מלחם אשר בא בשוש מלחם אשר בא אוי 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 עומד על גג בית המקדש משמיע לישראל ויאמר ענבים ענבים הגיע הזמן הגיע הזמן גאולתכם ואם אתם מאמינים ואם אתם מאמינים ויוריש זורח ענבים הגיע הזמן הגיע הזמן גאולתכם ואם אתם מאמינים ואם אתם מאמינים ויוריש ימין השם רוממה ימין השם עושה חיים ימין השם רוממה ימין השם עושה חיים